Hey friends, it's Friday. We made it through another week. And today I wanted to expand on something that I posted earlier in the week because it got a lot of good feedback, which usually means that I should talk about it more. And I do talk about this a lot with clients, but it just means like it needs more discussion. And I think that this is like a really good one to talk about because people said that like they needed to hear it. And it's something that comes up so often online when people are talking about income goals and how much they want to make or telling you how you can make a certain amount. It always goes like this. So you want to make, let's say, like 50K a month. Just throw that number out there for easy math, right? And to work with you one on one is 1K a month. So you need 50 clients. Perfect, done. Like that's obviously the path you need to take, right? Done. No, 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 not done. That's insane. But this is how it happens all the time. Like this is always, it's always like this. And it's like, just do the math for what you want. Just do the math. No, no. So I'm going to talk about the way that I do this with clients and how you can set this up for yourself so that it's not just the math, but you actually think about how many clients you can serve and, support really well realistically while still thinking about how you want to live your life. Like what do you want your life to look like outside of your business? Because that's also super important. We don't want to be burning out. And if you have 50 one-on-one clients, I absolutely guarantee you will be. So let's not do that. Like, no more of that. So if you want to end your day at 3 p.m., if you want weekends off, if you want like all of these things, that's so possible. And it's so possible while still hitting your income goals. This is the thing. And so many people talk about this like you can't have both, but it's knowing how to actually structure your business properly so that you can have both. Like it's so weird. Anyways, when I'm going over this with clients and we're looking at how you can hit a specific income goal, I always ask this question. This is something that I want you to consider first. Instead of, how many clients do you need to make what you want? It's how many can you realistically support each month at one time? Like truly realistically support. So if we're looking at your one-on-one offer, how many can you actually support realistically at one time? That still allows you to have the schedule that you want, and if you have other offers, we'll get into that in a second, but have time for that. Have time to run your business. Like you need time for all of these things. It's not just looking at, okay, so I need 50 clients to make 50K. Like, no, this is so backwards. It's so crazy to me that that's like how this is done. It doesn't make any sense. So I always ask this question first, and it's like, let's get super realistic. What is the number? What can you actually do? Because if you're doing like one-on-one calls with clients, how many hours do you have per week to actually do that? And when you can figure that out, then we can really figure out how many clients you can do one-on-one, what that adds to, all of those things. So we're going to walk through that today because like literally, I don't care. I don't give a shit if the maths. I care if you aren't burnt out at the end of the day and you're able to live your life the way that you're wanting to and the way that you probably started your business to be able to. Because let's be real, like you did not start a business so that you could just be like burnt out because you wanted to hit an income goal. Like that's not it. Yes, you probably saw like that you could make more having a business, but it wasn't, oh, I'm going to start a business so that I can make more and burn myself out. Like no one's doing that. That wouldn't make any sense. So, how can you reach the income goal? Make what you want and also keep the schedule that you want, live your life, do all the things. It might look different than what you originally had in mind because we're not just looking at the math. So here's how we break it down. Still, decide on your income goal. That stays the same. You can still decide, like, what is the income you want? You can still do this, choose whatever you want. It's just how we're going to get there that's going to look different because now we're going to look at how you get there without burning out because you're not just going to keep taking on clients to hit that number. That's where shit goes sideways. It's also, and this is interesting, it's also why, and you may or may not have heard this, but you will have now, the whole like cozy business, cozy marketing, all of that. This has come about because people realized that they were having to burn themselves out to make these huge income months, and that fucking sucks. So now it's like, I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm going to pull back, and it's okay if I just make, a little bit less instead of $1 million a month. And yes, in that case, it's not actually reaching your income goal, but unless you're looking at making $1 million a month by like coaching or something, it yours is going to be doable. Don't worry. So instead of doing that, this is what we do. We start with the highest ticket offer, your highest priced offer. That's what's going to bring you in the most income. And this is like when we're doing this today, this is just looking at how you are going to make the income that you want overall. This isn't looking at, okay, so I'm launching this thing right now, so I need to get these people. This is what this adds to, like, not, no, we're just looking overall at your business, how this can be set up, right? So looking at the highest priced offer, this is often your highest support offer as well. Like this is probably going to be something that's one-on-one. So it's going to take the most of your time. How many clients realistically can you support at one time? Okay, so I don't want you to be like, oh, well, if I really stretch myself, I can do 30. No, no, we're not stretching ourselves. Realistically, look at how much time you have and how many clients fit in there. That's how many. That's the number. Now, that's the number that feels really good. You can realistically support. You're not overdoing it. Like that's what's going to feel really, really good to you. Not the, but I need to make X or I need X clients to make X, blah, blah, blah. We're going to get there, but that's not what we're going with, okay? Not burnout land, reality. So, your realistic capacity number, that's the number that we're going to use to do the math because we still have to do the math, right? So, take that number, the one that's the realistic number of clients that you can serve at one time, figure that out with the cost of your highest priced offer, what that will bring in when you're fully booked. So, and like, we're also not getting into today, but how am I going to get fully booked? Like, no, not going there. We are just looking at your business model. How are you going to set yourself up to hit the income that you want without burning out? Okay. We'll leave the fully booked out conversation for another week. But when you do the math, you look at your realistic client number, your realistic capacity number, how much your highest ticket offer is, what that equals, how far are you from your income goal? What does that look like? If you've hit the income goal, if you made it there, great. Anything extra is extra. That's amazing. Then, like, that's really good. If there's a gap, now we're going to look at how we're going to fill that in. So, how do we decrease that gap and get you to the income that you want without increasing the hours that you are working, right? So, there's a few options to fill in this gap. Looking at, is there any way to increase your capacity in this offer, but it's not just pushing and taking on more clients? Instead, it's looking at getting you time back. So there's a couple things that you can look at. I would have you look at, so we'd break down what you're doing each day, the tasks you're doing in your business, have a really, really honest look to see if you are doing anything that you don't need to. Are you doing busy work that's just taking up time that you don't need to be doing that could open up space? And you have to be like really, really honest with yourself about this because it's true. Sometimes we do this and we just like sit there and we do things that like, you know, we do, but they're not really like moving the business forward. They're not things that we really need to be doing, right? If you're just doing whatever little menial tasks that like you don't need to, like you're writing shit down in your notebook and you're writing it down on, an app somewhere and transferring it like, things like that. No, we don't need to be doing that. A really good way to see if you are doing things like this is by tracking your time for a week to see what you are doing and if you're really working what you think that you are, or if you have extra time that you could increase your capacity and take on extra clients. And if you do that, what you need to do is when you are doing certain tasks, then you're just going to add in what the task is and, you know, time it out. I use Toggle. It's Toggl. I'm not sponsored. You can use it for free. But I use it to track my time when I need to for client projects, things like that. So it's totally free when you use it just like for yourself. And you can use that and it will add up the time that you're spending doing different tasks. You just have to like add them in at the beginning and then stop it when you're done the task, add another one. So it's a little like menial things for that week, but at the end of the week, you can run a report, see what you are actually doing. And you can see too, it's going to keep you on track a little bit better because you'll notice if you were like doing different things where you were just like sitting there scrolling on your phone or, whatever you're doing during the day that could potentially be giving you extra time. And you may or may not find any, but that's a really good way to check. So you can check that. The next thing that we think about is if you can automate any tasks and create better systems to run your business more efficiently. The very basic way to do this, write down your tasks for the week, see which ones you are doing like over and over and over again. Are you sending out a lot of emails manually? Automate that. Like, stop sending out shit manually. Don't do that. Are there things in your business that are taking up like a ton of different steps to get done? Can you simplify that and create a better system to make it more efficient so that you can get it done faster, so that it doesn't take as long? All of those things. And if you want a really quick way to find out if you are doing this, what you can automate, how you can make your systems more simple, book a free strategy call. We can go over this together, and I can tell you exactly what you could automate, where you can simplify, tighten up your systems, all of those things. So that link is in the show notes. We can do it together. Now, if you don't have any extra time that you find from any of that, then it's looking at how else are we going to decrease that gap that you still have getting to your income goal. So do you have another offer? Most times people have, you'll have another offer besides your high ticket offer. Is that a group program, a membership, intensive, like whatever? Look at, usually it's something that's, one step down from your high ticket offer. We'll go to the lowest ticket offer after this one. So let's say you have a group program. We're going to do the exact same thing, exact same process. What is your realistic capacity? And then how much would that make you? Like when I think about this for impact, for example, I could, I could take 30 clients in that. Would that be realistic? No, because I would also, yes, it's mostly group calls, but everyone gets a one-on-one call every month, and I would have 30 one-on-one calls to do in a month, plus my regular one-on-one clients, plus the done for you work that I have, plus some, you know, consultations, different things that come in the free strategy calls that I do. Like that's not realistic. So I look at how many actually make sense. And it's also looking at like how many make sense for how you want to support people. When I look at impact, like I want probably a max of 6, to be honest, because I don't want it to be huge. I want it to be something where everyone feels really supportive or supported. And, you don't get on the group calls and you feel like you're lost in this sea of faces because there's a million people on there and you're just like one of all these people and your questions are never going to get answered. That's never what I wanted. So it's thinking about those things too. Like, how do you actually want your offers to feel? How do you want to support your clients? So when you think about all of this, what is that realistic capacity for you? And then it's doing the math again. So how much is this offer? The realistic capacity. And now, what is the gap? Again, when you add this offer plus your high ticket offer, then it's looking at, are you hitting your income goal? Does it hit it? If it does, great. Then if you have another offer, it's extra. Perfect. If you still have a gap, then it's looking at how can you fill in the rest of this gap without adding extra hours onto your day and thinking that you have to take on extra one-on-one clients or extra people in your group program that actually pushes that capacity that you really don't want to. So if we're looking at a lower ticket offer, it's, if you have this, then it's usually something that's more high volume, low effort, low time commitment on your side because you don't want to add that extra time on your plate. And this may be something that you have to think about adding into your offer suite. But it's also, considering is it actually something that you want to do? Because don't think that like this is the only way to do this. It's really not. There's other things that you can look at. This is just an example. And there are so many ways that you can fill in these gaps, but still keeping with what you want as your schedule. Like not burning out, not having to work 24/7. But you really need to look at how much time you would have left to put into something else and then think about what that would need to be. Like a passive course, which it's not actually like passive because you still have to market it, you still have to do all the things. If it's not created, you have to set all of that up. But, once the funnel is there, it's more passive than you having to be on calls with people and do all of that stuff. Could also be a low effort membership. Like there's so many things that you could do. It really just depends on the support, your time constraints, what all of this looks like. But the whole point of doing it in this way is really working around how much you actually want to work first and then making your business fit that, not the other way around. Because for whatever reason, as soon as we see these crazy numbers online, like that just flies out the window. It's just gone. And it's like, okay, we get it in our head that sure, I will do whatever to hit that because I can. But like, do you really want to? Do you really want to burn yourself out to say that you made that and then not even be able to like enjoy your life? Besides, like, it doesn't make any sense. So let's set this up properly so that you can have like a quote unquote balance of both. And this is literally what I do with all my clients. This is how we do it all the time. It's how I set up my own business. And I mean, I absolutely love supporting my clients and doing what I do, but I also love not working 24/7. Like I couldn't work 12-hour shifts anymore nursing. And I sure as shit did not start my business to do the same thing. Like that doesn't make any sense. So this is something that I'm just like very passionate about making sure that my clients set up their businesses this way and really look at this because it is so important so that you can have longevity in your business. Because I guarantee you, if you get into a place of burnout, like you're going to want to burn down your business, like you're not going to want to keep doing it. So it's really looking at how can this be realistic in both ways, making the income, working what you actually wanted, all of the good things. So I would love to go through this with you, see what that looks like for your business. You can book a free recurring revenue strategy call and we can do it together. And we can look at what your business looks like now and exactly what it would look like in order to set this up. You can also check out Impact. That's my 6-month hybrid group program that still has a few spots left if you're interested in working together and you're looking for like more of a community vibe, all of that kind of thing. So the link for both of those are in the show notes. So you can check that out. And I would love to hear how this landed for you, how it made you think about how you're setting up your business. And you can reach out on Instagram and let me know, or you can send a message right to the podcast because I can get fan mail, which I find so funny. No one's ever sent me any, so you could be the first. I would love it. And if you love the episode and the podcast, I would very much appreciate if you would give it a 5-star rating and a review. And as always, go after everything that you fucking want and be unapologetic about it.